The snow fell like forgotten promises outside the cabin window, blanketing the Colorado Rockies in a silence that pressed against my chest. I had come here to escape the city's relentless grind, but as Emma's laughter echoed from the kitchen, sharp, too bright, I realized the real storm was brewing inside these walls. One glance at her aunt's shadowed eyes across the room, and I knew. Some truths don't wait for invitations. They claw their way out by the firelight. Emma had invited me up to her family's old cabin 2 weeks ago, her text popping up like a lifeline amid my crumbling life back in Denver. Need a break? Mountains, wine, no drama, she'd written. At 28, Emma was the kind of woman who made chaos look effortless, dark curls that caught the light like raven wings, hazel eyes that sparkled with mischief, and a smile that could disarm a room. We'd been friends since college, bonded over late-night study sessions, and shared dreams of something more than the ordinary. But lately, those dreams had twisted into something I couldn't name, a pull that made my pulse stutter whenever she brushed past me. I was Sadie Harper, the reliable one, the graphic designer who sketched her way through heartbreak after my last relationship imploded. At the same age as Emma, I carried my insecurities like a well-worn backpack, freckles across my nose from too many summers outdoors, short auburn hair that never quite behaved, and a heart that bruised easily. Driving up the winding pass that afternoon, the engine's hum had been my only companion, drowning out the what-ifs. What if this trip changed everything? What if it shattered us? The cabin loomed at the end of a gravel drive, a sturdy A-frame of logs and stone that had stood for generations, its chimney puffing lazy smoke into the slate-gray sky. Emma flung open the door before I could knock, pulling me into a hug that smelled of pine and vanilla. You made it. God's country, right? Her voice was a melody, but her grip lingered a second too long, her cheek warm against mine. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of crackling cedar and simmering stew. That's when I met Aunt Lydia, Emma's great-aunt, really, but family trees in these parts tangled like the roots below. Lydia was in her mid-60s, with silver threads weaving through her chestnut hair, pulled back in a loose braid that spoke of quiet strength. Her face was etched with lines from laughter and loss, eyes the color of storm clouds, holding secrets like heirlooms. She rose from an armchair by the hearth, extending a calloused hand. Sadie, welcome. Emma's told me all about you. All good things, I hope, I replied, forcing a grin as I shook her hand. It was firm, grounding like the mountains themselves. Emma snorted, kicking off her boots. Only the embarrassing ones. Come on, let's get you settled before the storm hits. The cabin was a time capsule, exposed beams overhead, a stone fireplace dominating the living room, and a loft bedroom with a quilt that whispered of winters past. My room overlooked the valley, where pines bowed under fresh snow, and in the distance, jagged peaks pierced the clouds like accusations. As I unpacked, Emma chattered from the doorway, her silhouette framed in flannel and jeans that hugged her curves just enough to make my throat dry. Dinner's almost ready. Aunt Lydia's famous chili, spicy enough to wake the dead. She leaned against the frame, crossing her arms. You okay? You look haunted. I sipped my bag, avoiding her gaze. Just city fatigue. This place is magic already. She stepped closer, her fingers grazing my arm. Good. We need magic. Her voice dropped, laced with something unspoken, and for a heartbeat, the room shrank to just us. Then she pulled back, flashing that grin. Downstairs in 5. Dinner unfolded around the scarred oak table, candlelight flickering across bowls of chili steaming with cumin and heat. Lydia presided like a gentle monarch, her stories weaving through the meal, tales of summers spent fishing the nearby creek, winters when blizzards trapped them for weeks. Emma hung on every word, her foot nudging mine under the table in playful conspiracy. But as the night deepened, the wind howled like a wounded animal, rattling the windows. We migrated to the fireside, mugs of spiked cider warming our palms. The flames danced, casting golden shadows that played across Emma's face, highlighting the curve of her lip, the vulnerability in her eyes when she thought no one watched. Lydia stoked the logs, sparks rising like fleeting hopes. "You two remind me of someone," Lydia said suddenly, her voice cutting through the crackle. She settled into her rocker, gaze distant. Two souls, tangled in the mountains, chasing what the world said they couldn't have. Emma leaned forward, elbows on knees. "Who, Aunt Elle?" "Spill." I sipped my cider, the burn steadying me, but my heart tripped over itself. Lydia's eyes met mine, piercing, as if she saw the ache I buried deep. "It was 1962, she began, her words slow, deliberate. I was 25, fresh from nursing school in Boulder, full of fire and foolish dreams. Your great-grandmother, my sister, Clara, had this friend, Vivian. Viv was a force, tall, with hair like midnight and a laugh that echoed off the cliffs. They met at a town dance, the kind where boots stomped and fiddles wailed under strung lights." Emma shifted closer to me on the rug, our shoulders brushing. The fire's warmth seeped into my skin, but it was her nearness that ignited something deeper. "Clara was the quiet one," Lydia continued. "Like you, Sadie, eyes that held stories unspoken. They were inseparable that summer, hiking trails no one else dared, sharing secrets by hidden waterfalls. But love, that crept in slow, like fog off the peaks. A touch that lingered, a glance that stripped you bare." My breath caught. Emma's hand found mine in the dim, fingers intertwining without a word. Lydia's voice wove on, painting pictures of stolen moments, kisses in the barn loft, whispers under starlit skies, against a world that branded them wrong. The storm raged outside, but inside, time blurred. Lydia's tale unfolded like a ribbon unspooling, the terror of discovery when a nosy neighbor spied them, the frantic flight into the wilderness, hearts pounding as they evaded prying eyes. Vivian's family dragged her away to the city, promising a cure that broke her spirit. Clara, left behind, withered like autumn leaves, her light dimming year by year. Emma's grip tightened, her thumb tracing circles on my skin. Tears glistened in Lydia's eyes, but her chin lifted defiantly. I watched it unfold, too young to intervene, too scared to speak. But Viv? She came back once, years later, hollowed but unbroken. They sat right here, by this fire, and forgave what time stole. "Love echoes," she told Clara. "It doesn't die, it just waits." The room fell silent, save for the fire's soft roar. Emma turned to me, her face inches away, breath mingling with mine. "Sadie," she whispered, and in that syllable, a dam broke. I leaned in, our lips meeting soft and sure, tasting of cider, and longing held too long. The kiss deepened, a spark to dry tinder, her hands cupping my face as if I were fragile glass. Lydia slipped away quietly, leaving us to the flame's embrace. That night, tangled in the loft under quilts heavy with history, Emma and I unraveled years of almosts. Her body against mine was revelation, curves yielding, breaths sinking like waves on a shore. "I've wanted this," she murmured into my neck, "since that stupid college party, when you danced like no one watched." I traced her spine, memorizing the map of her. Me too. But fear. It's a mountain all its own. Dawn crept in pale and forgiving, snow-dusted peaks glowing outside. We descended to find Lydia at the stove, pancakes sizzling. She slid plates our way, her smile knowing. "Breakfast for lovers," she said simply.
"Eat."
The world's waiting, but so is the day. We lingered that morning, hands linked across the table, sharing glances that promised tomorrows. But as the sun climbed, Emma's phone buzzed, work calling her back to the city, deadlines like chains. "Stay another day?" she pleaded, but I shook my head. Reality beckoned, sharp as pine needles. Driving down the pass, Emma beside me, the cabin shrank in the rear view. Lydia's words echoed. Love waits, but it demands courage. In Denver's sprawl, we navigated the newness. Dinner stolen in corner booths, nights where touches turned to fire. Yet shadows loomed. Emma's family, conservative roots deep as the Rockies, my own doubts, whispers of unworthiness. One evening, 3 weeks later, over takeout in my tiny apartment, Emma confessed. Mom knows about us. Sort of. Her voice trembled. She said, prayers won't fix it. Rage and sorrow twisted in me. Then we show her. We live loud. But life conspired. A promotion yanked Emma to Seattle. Oceans of distance in weeks. Airport goodbyes were salt and wounds, her tears on my collar, my promises hollow against the roar of engines. Months blurred into a gray ache. Letters, calls, video screens that flattened her laugh. Lydia's voice haunted me, a lifeline in late-night voicemails. Echoes, Sadie. Listen close. Then, the call came, Emma's voice fractured. Aunt Lydia's gone. Heart quick. Come home. The flight was torment, grief a passenger uninvited. The cabin stood sentinel under autumn's gold, leaves carpeting the drive like confetti for the lost. Emma waited on the porch, hollow-cheeked, arms open. We clung there, sobs mingling, the mountains bearing witness. Inside, the fire crackled as we sorted Lydia's things. Journals yellowed, photos faded. One envelope, sealed with wax, bore my name. Emma handed it over, eyes red-rimmed. She left this for you. By the hearth flames low, I broke the seal. Lydia's script flowed like a river. Dearest Sadie, if you're reading this, I've joined the echoes. Remember Viv and Clara, not as tragedy, but testament. Love between women isn't a whisper, it's thunder in the veins. You and Emma, you're their legacy. Guard it fierce. And know this. In 1975, Viv returned not once, but always in dreams. We all do. Live, love, let it echo. With fire in my heart, Lydia.
Tears blurred the ink.
Emma knelt beside me, reading over my shoulder. She knew, she breathed, about us all along. We burned the letter that night, ashes rising like prayers. In the glow, Emma pulled me close. Marry me, Sadie. Here where it started. The wedding was small, snow-laced, a justice of the peace under pines, rings simple silver-etched with flames. Vows exchanged by the cabin's hearth, Lydia's spirit in every crackle. Friends toasted with cider, laughter chasing shadows. Years folded like accordions, a home in the foothills, careers woven with travel, a garden where Emma's roses bloomed defiant. Children came later, adopted, their giggles echoing Lydia's tales. But the heart of it, us, hands clasped in quiet mornings, storms weathered side by side. What Lydia told me by the fire, it wasn't just a story. It was permission, a map through the wild. Love, she taught, echoes eternal, not in grand gestures, but in the steady beat of two hearts aligned. And in the mountains of my soul, it still rings true. The drive back to Denver that first time felt like emerging from a dream, the cabin's warmth clinging to my skin like a second sweater. Emma's hand rested on my thigh as I navigated the icy curves, her touch a anchor against the vertigo of what we'd unleashed. That was intense, she said, voice soft over the heater's hum. Aunt Lydia's stories always are. I glanced at her, the dashboard glow etching her profile in blue.
Yeah.
But yours? Ours. My words hung, tentative bridges over chasms. She squeezed, eyes locking on mine for a beat too long.
Real.
That's what matters. The city swallowed us whole, neon veins pulsing, horns blaring like impatient lovers. My apartment, a shoebox above a coffee shop, welcomed us with its familiar clutter, sketchpads strewn, half-finished designs mocking from the walls. Emma kicked the door shut, tugging me toward the couch. No rushing back to normal. she declared, pouring wine from a bottle we'd smuggled down. We curled there, legs entwined, the TV flickering some forgotten rom-com, but our movie played in touches, her fingers in my hair, my lips on her collarbone. The night stretched, bodies mapping uncharted territories, sighs punctuating the rain-pattering windows. In her arms, I found not escape, but home. Morning brought coffee and confessions. Over mugs chipped from overuse. Emma traced my knuckles. I've dated guys.
Plenty.
But it always felt scripted, like I was playing a part. Her hazel eyes searched mine, vulnerable. With you, Sadie? It's improv. Raw. My chest tightened, echoes of old wounds. I get it. After my ex, Mark, the one who bailed when things got too real, I swore off labels. But this? I gestured between us, the air humming. Lesbian love? It scares me shitless. The world's not kind to it. She nodded, fierce. Then we make our own world. Starting tonight, dinner at that Italian place you love. Date 1, official. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind etched in candlelight and stolen hours. Date 1 became 2, 3, a picnic in Washington Park where ducks quacked approval, her head on my lap as clouds shaped our future. Work blurred, my freelance gigs piling up, her marketing job demanding late nights. But texts bridged gaps. Miss your freckles. Home soon? Then the fracture. Emma's phone rang during a quiet evening, her mother's voice tinny through the speaker. I caught fragments, disappointed. Pray for guidance, that phase. Emma's face drained, mask slipping. She hung up, collapsing beside me. She saw us online. Some photo from the park. Thinks it's a rebellion. I pulled her close, fury simmering. It's not. It's us. But doubt crept, insidious as fog. Family dinners turned tense, her brother's texts, laced with scripture, chipped at resolve. They'll come around, Emma insisted, but her smiles faltered. One night, after a blowout with her folks, yelled accusations of unnatural choices, she showed up at my door, mascara streaked, duffel in hand. Can I stay?
Just.
Tonight. Always, I whispered, drawing her in. We made love slow, deliberate, reclaiming what judgment tried to steal. Dawn found us whispering plans, maybe a road trip, just us, to breathe. But life, cruel architect, built higher walls. The promotion email landed midweek. Seattle, 6 figures, a chance to prove herself. Emma paced my living room torn. It's everything I've worked for.
But you.
Go, I said, throat burning. We'll make it work. FaceTime dates, surprise visits. Love's not bound by zip codes. Airport parting was agony. Her boarding pass crumpled in my fist, her kiss tasting of salt. 6 months, she vowed. Then we reassess. Months dragged, pixels no substitute for flesh. Calls grew sporadic, her exhaustion bleeding through. The team's great, but it's lonely. Miss your laugh in the room. I nodded to screens, sketching her from memory, lines blurring with tears. Lydia's number lit my phone one rainy Tuesday. Sadie girl. How's my niece holding up? Like a tree in wind, I admitted, voice cracking. Me too. She chuckled warm. Mountains bend, don't break.
Come up soon.
Cabin needs you both. I booked the ticket that night, surprise in hand. Emma's joy exploded via video. You're coming? God, Sadie, I love you. The flight west was redemption, clouds parting like curtains. Seattle greeted gray and drizzled, but her arms at baggage claim erased it all. We crashed her sleek apartment, city lights winking approval, bodies reuniting with grateful urgency. That weekend, we wandered Pike Place, fishmongers tossing salmon like confetti, her hand in mine unapologetic. Look at us, she marveled, feeding me chowder from a spoon. Defying gravity. Back home, doubts lingered. A co-worker's offhand joke. You too? Cute phase stung. Emma laughed it off, but I saw the flinch. We're solid, she affirmed that night, her weight of promise atop me. Then, the call from home. Lydia, faltering. Hip surgery. Nothing major, but the cabin's empty. Could use company. Emma's eyes lit. Road trip? Detour to Seattle first. We flew east, then drove up, tires crunching gravel, radio crooning old folk tunes. Lydia greeted us frail but feisty, cane tapping. Look at you pair. Glow like fireflies. Over stew, she grilled gently. Dreams, fears, the ache of distance. Love's a hike, she said, eyes twinkling. Steep, but the view? Worth every blister. Emma squeezed my knee. We're planning. Maybe I transfer back. Or you join me. Lydia nodded. Decide with hearts, not heads. Winter deepened, snow sealing us in. Nights by the fire, we dreamed aloud. A joint studio, travels to places pink-washed with pride. Mornings, tangled in flannel sheets, her whispers. You're my echo, Sadie. Departure loomed, but resolve hardened. Emma declined extension, citing personal priorities. Her boss grumbled, but she stood firm. Family first. The kind we choose. Denver welcomed us boisterous, spring budding defiant. We hunted apartments, lofts with views, kitchens for lazy brunches. Signing the lease felt like vows, ink drying on forever. But shadows persisted. Emma's mother arrived unannounced one Sunday, Bible in purse, eyes hard.
This
Experiment. It ends hearts broken. Emma rose, voice steel. It's not an experiment, Mom. It's my life. Sadie's my life. The woman softened, fractionally. Tears, a hug for Emma, a nod my way.
Be happy then.
That's all I ask. Healing rippled. Invites to holidays, cautious questions about Sadie's work. Not acceptance full, but a crack for light. Summer found us hiking the trails Lydia described, packs light, hands linked. At a waterfall's roar, Emma dropped to knee, not ring, but a locket with our photo inside. Promise me forever? Already yours, I breathed, sealing it with a kiss mist-kissed. The year turned, anniversaries marked with cabin weekends, Lydia's health rallying. Her letters arrived monthly, wisdom distilled. Love thrives in honesty, wilts in silence. One crisp fall eve, as leaves blazed, Emma traced my belly, swollen now with possibility. Our IVF miracle. A family, she marveled, ear to the flutter. Yes, I said, hand over hers.
Ours.
In quiet moments, Lydia's firelit words resound. Echoes of love's past, fueling ours. Not flawless, this path, stumbles, storms, but rich with grace. For in the heart's vast mountain, we found not just survival, but song. Autumn's palette painted the Rockies in fire, and with it came the harvest of our shared life. Pumpkin patches with friends who cheered our union, hayrides where Emma's laughter drowned the world's noise. But beneath the joy, fault lines simmered, remnants of old earthquakes. My freelance dried up 1 month, bills stacking like accusations. We'll weather it, Emma said, her marketing salary a buffer, but pride chafed me, the independent one now leaning. Nights, I'd pace the loft we called home, sketches abandoned for worry lists. Emma found me there once, 2 a.m., calculator glowing. Hey, she murmured, rapping from behind. We're a team, remember? I leaned back, her chin on my shoulder. I know.
Just.
What if I'm the weak link? Her kiss to my temple was balm.
Never.
You're the spark. Gratitude swelled, but so did the unspoken. Her Seattle ghost, the promotion she'd sacrificed. Whispers in her sleep. Can't lose this, stirred my guilt. Was our love tether or chain? Lydia sensed it during our next visit, her eyes sharp as she poured tea by the window. Snow dusted the sills, early for November. Trouble brewing? She asked, no preamble. Emma fidgeted, but I spilled. The the money woes, the doubts gnawing. Lydia listened, then fetched a tin from the shelf, rusted with age. Inside, yellowed clippings, headlines of women's marches, faded pride pins. Viv's stash, she explained. She fought for rights when it meant jobs lost, friends turned. Love cost her, but she paid gladly. Emma traced a pin, rainbow-worn. How'd she keep going? Community, Lydia said. Found it in shadows first, secret meetings in basements, letters coded sweet. You too? You've got daylight. Use it. Inspired, we joined a local group, LGBTQ+ creators, sharing stories over wine and canvases. My designs bloomed there, commissions trickling, then flooding. Emma networked, her pitches laced with our truth, clients drawn to authenticity. Christmas dawned white, the cabin festooned in lights Emma strung with childlike glee. Lydia's gift, a quilt pieced from Clara's fabrics, threads of blue and lavender. Wrap yourselves in history, she winked. Under it that eve, fire low, Emma's proposal echoed true. Rings this time, sapphires for eyes like hers. Marry me proper? Vows, dress, the works. Tears pricked.
Yes.
God, yes. Wedding plans unfurled like flags, spring affair, meadow near the cabin, wildflowers and wild hearts. Invites went out, Emma's family tepid but present, mine boisterous. My parents, liberal arts profs, toasted early. Love's the real degree. But drama brewed unbidden. A week before, Emma's brother cornered her at rehearsal dinner. Beer loosened tongue spewing, family name and hellfire. She stormed out, me chasing into rain-slick streets. He's scared. I soothed, but her sobs racked. Of losing me? Or his version? We talked till dawn in a diner, neon buzzing, pancakes cold. I choose us, she vowed. Always. The ceremony dawned golden, meadow alive with butterflies. I walked aisle of petals, Emma radiant in lace, eyes locked like lifelines. Vows poured. In storms and sun, I echo you. Rings slid, kisses sealed, cheers erupted. Honeymoon whisked us to the coast, Oregon's rugged shores, waves crashing like applause. Cabins by sea, no mountains, but endless blue. Nights we'd lie tangled, salt on skin, dreaming of expansions. The baby we'd try for, travels to pride parades worldwide. Back home, reality nipped, fertility consults, charts tracking moons. Hope mingled with ache, each negative a bruise. It'll happen, Emma insisted, but shadows lengthened her smiles. Lydia's health dipped again, pneumonia, stubborn. We shuttled up, nursing her through fevers. Foolish old bat, she grumbled, but gripped our hands. You too. My greatest story. Recovery slow, she gifted tales anew. Viv's later years, a quiet life in California with another love, letters bridging miles. Distance tests, but doesn't sever. Emboldened, when Emma's firm offered remote hybrid, we pounced, me full-time now, designs for queer brands soaring. Balance tipped, but so did joy. Brunches with new friends, hikes where we'd pause, breathless, to kiss against boulders. Spring bloomed our miracle, positive test, 2 pink lines like victory flags. Ultrasounds revealed her, a girl, fierce kicker. Names swirled, Lydia echo, honoring roots. Pregnancy wove us tighter, cravings at midnight, Emma's hands on my swell, whispering lullabies. Fear surfaced. Will I be enough? I'd ask. Her replies steady. More than. We're enough. Labor came fierce, summer heat wave, hospital lights harsh. Emma coached, sweat slick, her voice my tether through contractions roar. At 3:17 a.m., cries pierced, Lila Lydia harperied, tiny fist raised defiant. Holding her, Emma's tears fell on downy hair. Our echo. Parenthood crashed like waves, sleepless, sublime. Lila's coos, first smiles, tiny fingers clutching ours. Lydia visited, frail but beaming, cradling her namesake. Cycle turns, she murmured. Love renews. But trials lingered. Emma's mother, thawing slow, met Lila with tentative awe. Grandma? A bridge half built. My doubts resurfaced in quiet. Am I mother enough, lover enough? One night, Lila feverish, our dash at dusk, Emma's panic mirrored mine, accusations flying. If you'd rested more. Words retracted, but hurt festered. Morning brought apologies, therapy sign-up, couples queer-focused unpacking layers. Sessions peeled, her abandonment fears from youth, my perfectionism armor. We're human, the counselor said. Love's the glue. Healing hummed. Date nights resumed, babysitters trusted, dinners where eyes still sparked. Lila toddled, then ran, her giggles mountain fresh. Years layered, Lila's first Pride March, flag-waving tiny, school plays where Emma directed, me costuming, cabin summers, Lydia's chair empty, but stories alive. Then, the echo peaked, Lydia's passing, gentle as snowfall, spring 2030. Funeral simple, ashes to the creek she loved. Eulogy mine. She taught us love's not fragile, it's the fire that warms generations. Grief bowed us, but lifted slow. In its wake, resolve. A book, our story woven with hers, self-published, spines on shelves. Reviews trickled. Echoes true. Hearts mended. Today, porch swing creaks under Lila's teenage weight. Emma's are mine, sunset gilding peaks. Happy, she asks as always. Utterly. I reply, kiss ceiling. What Aunt Lydia shared by that fire. Not mere words, a beacon. In America's vast tapestry, threads of women loving women weave resilient.
Dramatic?
Yes, twists of fate, gales of doubt. But romantic, emotional, meaningful, a testament that love, once voiced, echoes unending, hearts intertwined, forever home. Lila's 5th birthday dawned with balloons tangled in cottonwood branches, the backyard a riot of color against the foothills green. Emma had outdone herself, piñata swinging like a promise, cake layered chocolate and vanilla, guests a mix of rainbow families and straight allies who'd learned along the way. I watched from the picnic table, Lila's curls, mine, wild, auburn halo as she chased bubbles, Emma scooping her mid-leap, spins eliciting shrieks of delight. Perfect chaos, my mother said, sidling up with a plate of deviled eggs. At 60, she was silver elegance, her prof days traded for novels and grandkids spoiling. You too built this. Warmth bloomed, but so did the pang, Lydia's absence, her rocker empty by the fire pit. We had help, I murmured, squeezing her hand. The party wound with sunburns and sugar crashes, Lila conked out on the couch amid wrapping paper seas. Emma and I collapsed in the kitchen, wine poured, feet propped. Survived, she toasted, clinking glasses. Her ring caught light, sapphire winking. Barely. Laughter bubbled, easing the day's edge. But as night deepened, crickets chorusing, Emma's gaze turned serious. Thinking about number 2? My heart skipped, hope and havoc. Lila had been our leap. Another? A bridge or burden? Maybe. When the time feels right. She nodded, fingers lacing mine. No rush. Just dreaming. Dreams fueled us that summer, vacations plotted, a trip to Provincetown, Massachusetts, Pride's cradle. Flights booked, bags packed with sundresses and sunscreen. Lila bounced seatbelting. Beach. Whales. The Cape Cod air was salt-kissed freedom, B&B quilted in pastels, walks where hands swung free. Evenings, bonfires on dunes, Lila roasting marshmallows to char, Emma's stories captivating strangers, our tale, sanitized for tots, but eyes lit with knowing. One dusk, as waves lapped, a woman approached, 50s, wind-tousled, pride button pinned. Saw your family. Reminds me of mine, back when. Her voice cracked. Wife and I, 80s. Fought for this. Emma hugged her spontaneous, tears shared. Thank you. For paving. Back home, inspired, we volunteered, local shelter for LGBTQ+ youth. Stories swapped over soup. Lila tagged along, coloring flags, absorbing osmosis. Why rainbows? She'd ask. For love all colors, Emma explained, me nodding. Fall brought harvest, but also harvest of hearts. Emma's company merger, layoffs looming. They value me, she assured, but boardroom calls stretch nights. I juggle designs, daycare drop-offs, dinner solos. Tension simmered, unspoken. One eve, Lila down with flu, me wrung from freelance crunch. Emma late again. Door clicked, her hey loves met silence. Rough day, she probed, loosening tie. Every day, snapped, sharper than intended. Lila sniffled from her room, amplifying guilt. Emma deflated. I know. Merger's killing me. Words escalated. You're never here. I'm providing. Culminating in slammed doors, me on couch, tears hot. Midnight found her beside me, blanket draped. I'm sorry. Scared of losing it all. Me too, I whispered. Us. Dawn brewed coffee truce, apologies over toast. Therapy again, she suggested. Booster shot. Sessions resumed, unpacking merger stress. My resentment roots in postpartum blues lingered. Communications are rope, counselor affirmed. Cling tight. Clarity came. Emma negotiated flex hours, me hiring assistant for designs. Balance tipped back, date nights reclaimed, picnics, theater, touches reignited. Winter solstice, cabin calling. We drove up, Lila wide-eyed at snow's capes, building forts while Emma and I chopped wood, axes swinging sink. Firelit, mulled wine steaming, Lila tucked early. We danced slow to radio croon, bodies remembering. Remember our first night here? Emma murmured, sway slow. Every second. Kiss deepened, past the rug, loft stairs creaking memory. New Year dawned resolutions, family expansion paused, focus inward. But fate chuckled, spring test positive, surprise sibling brewing. Lila, big sister gleeful. Boy or girl? Rainbow. Pregnancy gentler this time, but complications nipped. Bed rest weeks. Emma tag teaming work from home. Lila's drawings bedside cheer. Baby Echo, she dubbed, after Lydia's word. Birth was cesarean stark, but joy immediate. Theo, dark curls Emma's, eyes mine stormy. Holding him, hospital hush, Emma's whisper. Our boy. Double parenting, double delights. Lila's bossy tutorials, Theo's gummy grins, tandem nursing marathons. Sleepless fuse to surreal, love the thread. But cracks widened elsewhere. Emma's brother, once foe, reached olive branch. Uncle duties? Awkward barbecues thawing ice. Her mother, full embrace now. Baked pies, read stories, grandma's special. My family ever allies, host a holidays, Thanksgiving tables groaning, toasts to chosen kin. Yet drama stirred unbidden. Online trolls, a client balking queer slant in my campaign. Backlash stung, but community rallied, shares, support, solidarity. Emma's firm stabilized, promotion hers on merit. We did this, she celebrated, champagne popped. Years blur montage. Kids' school plays, Lila's soccer goals, Theo's piano plinks. Pride floats we marched, signs bold. Love echoes loud. Lydia's birthday, annual, cabin vigil. Letters read, fires stoked, toasts to her ghost. She'd love this, Emma said, arm round me, kids roasting s'mores. She does, I replied, stars winking. Midlife crept, 40s gentle, lines laughter-etched. Designs mine global now. Book sequel brewing. Emma consulted, flexible, us time sacred. One eve, porch swing, Kids Abed, sunset bled orange. Regrets? She asked, head my shoulder.
None.
You? Only not sooner. Kiss soft, enduring. Aunt Lydia's fireside whisper? Anchor in tempests. LGBT love, lesbian threads in America's weave, dramatic gales, romantic blooms, emotional depths, meaningful peaks. Kisses by fire, families forged, echoes eternal, hearts intertwined, story unwritten but sung. Theo's 8th birthday fell on a crisp October Saturday, leaves crunching underfoot as we trekked to the pumpkin patch. Lila, now 13, all limbs and attitude, hauling her brother on a hay wagon like a reluctant queen. Emma snapped photos, her laugh booming, but I caught the strain in her shoulders, the merger's aftermath still echoing in bored calls that bled into weekends. Big kid now, I said later, carving jack-o'-lanterns on the kitchen island, Theo's tongue out in concentration. Lila blasted music from her room, teen rebellion in bass thumps. Emma nodded, knife pausing. Time flies. Feels like yesterday we were the kids, clueless at the cabin. Nostalgia tugged, warm. Let's go back. Fall break, cabin, just as four. No screens. Her eyes lit.
Yes.
Reset. The drive up was sing-along chaos, Lila DJing indie folk, Theo quizzing capitals. Cabin welcomed with apple cider scent, Lydia's quilt draped welcoming. Evenings, hikes to overlooks, picnics where stories spun. Our wedding retold, kids rapped. One night, fire crackling, marshmallows gooey, Lila prodded. Tell the aunt story again, Mom. Emma glanced me, squeeze hidden. Which part? The kiss or the escape? All. Theo bounced. I wove it, Lydia's voice mine. The 62 summer, Clara and Viv's forbidden blaze, chases through brambles, reunion's grace. Kids hung silent, flames hypnotic. Like you too? Lila asked, wise beyond. Emma smiled soft. Exactly. Echoes. Bedtimes tucked, we lingered fireside, wine warming veins. Proud of them, she murmured, had my lap. Of us. Me too. Fingers combed her graying curls, silver threads, beautiful. But dawn brought discord. Lila's phone buzzed insistent, school drama spilling, best friend outed, bullying whispers. They called her freak. Lila fumed over breakfast, tears hot. Like it's bad. Emma's jaw set. It's not. We'll talk to the principal. I nodded, heart aching. Afternoon calls, emails drafted, but Lila's hurt lingered, mirroring old wounds. That night, her bedside vigil. Love's love, right? No matter who. Right. I affirmed, Emma echoing. Fierce as mountains. Resolution came school meeting, ally principal pledging assemblies. Lila returned empowered, starting GSA club, pride pins traded. Inspired, family packed, monthly echo nights, stories shared, vulnerabilities aired. Theo's turn, fear of weird family at school. But you're cool, he shrugged, hugs dissolving. Winter wove coziness, holiday lights strung cabin style, baking fails laughed off, sledding wipeouts. New Year's, kids asleep, Emma pulled me dancing kitchen slow. Resolutions. More us, I said. Less rush. Spring bloom changes. Lila's first crush. Girl from art class. Nerves we coached. Emma's BU mantra gold. Theo's science fair win. Volcano erupting cheers. But undercurrent pulled. My 40th loomed, body betraying. Aches new. Energy ebb. Doctor visits. Perimenopause early. Hormones havoc. Mood swung. Intimacy faltered. Sorry. I'd mutter post-snaps. Emma patient. We're in it. Date prescribed. Spa day. Massages melting knots. Talk flowing free. You're still my fire, she whispered, steam-veiled. Therapy tuned. Couples plus individual. Unpacking midlife mirrors. Aging together. Counselor framed. deeper roots. Summer sailed us to Europe, backpacker style, Paris crepes, Rome ruins, kids wide-eyed. Venice gondola, Emma's serenade off-key, laughter echoing canals. Our legacy, she said, kids trailing gelato smeared. Back, routine reknit, but surprise knocked. Book offer, publisher sending sequels heart. Write it, Emma urged. Your voice, our story. Nights, laptop glowing, words poured, Lydia's tale frame, our journey flesh. Dedication, to echoes that endure. Fall harvest launch party small, friends, family, Lila beaming my mom's. Sales trickled, then surged, reviews resonant. Human, hopeful. Drama crested uninvited. Emma's father, long silent, stroke struck. Hospital vigil, machines beeping, his eyes, hazel like hers, pleading. Proud, he rasped, hand in hers, mine beside. Of her. You. Tears bridged. Funeral somber, but toasts his hidden kindnesses. Quiet checks sent, now understood. Grief processed group hikes, talks raw. Closure, Emma sighed, peak view. Finally. Kids grew markers. Lila's homecoming dance, date shy-kissed porch light. Theo's braces gleamed, voice cracking choirs. Mid-40s, we pivoted, Emma semi-retired consulting, me studio full, teaching workshops queer youth. Giving back, pact sealed. Anniversary 20th, cabin return, kids teens now, but fort building nostalgic. Firelit, Lila strummed guitar learned, Theo sketched flames. To Lydia, we toasted, hearts full. Later, loft whispers, still echo. Emma asked, skin familiar. Always. Love making slow, reverent, years layered. Aunt's fireside gift? Compass true. Lesbian love's arc, knots dramatic, blooms romantic, depths emotional, peaks meaningful. In America's evolving heart, we thrived, family forged, stories sung, echoes amplifying, love's song unending. Lila's high school graduation cap sailed into June sky, tassels swinging like a pendulum marking time's theft. Emma dabbed eyes beside me, her hand clammy in mine, pride and panic mingled. Our girl's flying, she whispered as Lila hooped with classmates, gown billowing. The ceremony blurred, speeches on futures bright, diplomas clutched like keys. Reception backyard, strings lights twinkling, barbecue smoke curling. Lila, 18 now, hugged us fierce. College east but weekends home. Promise. Theo, 12, rolled eyes. Gross. Space skies. Laughter eased, but ache settled. Empty nest looming, our duo re-emerging from parental chrysalis. Summer post-grad, Lila interned City Arts, dating steady. Her girlfriend, Mia, soft-spoken artist with ink-stained fingers. Dinners double, stories swapped, Emma's treat her right gruff tender. Theo dove soccer, cleats muddy, dreams pro whispered. Like mom stories, he said, lacing boots. Underdog wins. We cheered sidelines, Emma's cheers loudest, my signs waved bold. But under hum, shift stirred, my designs plateaued, muse fled. Block, I confessed over coffee, steam rising. What now? Emma pondered, stirring. Teach more? Travel solo, recharge. Idea sparked. Sabbatical, Italy's sketching villas. Go, she urged. I'll hold fort. Florence welcome terracotta glow, streets cobbled whispers. Sketchbook filled, Duomo spires, gelato swirls, but loneliness nipped, calls home lifeline. Miss your chaos, I told Emma, pixel face beaming. Miss your sketches. Hurry back. Return refueled, workshop series launched. Echoes in art, queer narratives drawn. Enrollment swelled, youth eyes hungry for mirrors. Fall folded Theo's braces off, voice steady tenor. Lila's dorm move, Tears at drop-off, her love you moms via text bomb. Empty house echoed literal. Meals for two, evenings porch swinged, wine conversations deepening. Rediscover us? Emma suggested. Menu candlelit. Dates reinvented. Dance classes salsa swayed. Weekends cabin solitude. Fireside reads aloud. Poetry sapphos. Voices entwined. But tempest brewed familial. Mia's family, conservative vein. Ultimatum issued. Choose normalcy. Lila's heartbreak shattered home. Her room refuge. Sobs muffled. Emma paced. Drive there? Confront. I nodded. Road trip packed. Lila shotgun. Theo back moral support. Miles melted resolve. Diner stops plotting words wise. Confrontation tense. Mia's parents stiff. Parlor formal. Love's not choice. Lila declared. Our backs chorus. It's truth. Cracks formed. Father sigh. Didn't mean harm. Progress fragile, but Mia and Lila reunited, stronger. Healing rippled. Family therapy hybrid, bridges tentative. Growth, Emma marveled, post-session. Winter holidays hybrid, Lila home. Mia tentative guest. Theo's pranks lightning. New Year's, kids Abed. Emma pulled box from closet. Letters, ours from early days. Bundled ribboned. Read, she asked, fire crackling. We did. Youthful scrawls, passions raw. Laughter, tears, kisses punctuation. Spring bloomed Theo's championship goal. Net rippler, hugs mud smeared. Lila's art show, pieces bold. Our cabin fire, titled Echoes. Summer sailed Caribbean cruise. Cabins cozy, seas turquoise, kids. Young adults now, snorkeling free. Evenings, deck chairs linked, stars navigating. Grateful, Emma murmured, salt breeze. This life. Fall advanced Lila's wedding plans. Mia ringed. Ceremony spring. Us matrons honored. Nervous? I asked fittings, lace whispering. Excited, she beamed. Like you too. Theo, braces free teen, crushes confessed. Boy from team, first dance fumbled. Advice, he shy asked. Be honest, Emma coached. Heart first. Mid-50s, bodies creaked. Emma's knee twinged hikes. My eyes strained fine lines. Checkups routine, but early retirement whispers surfaced. What next? Over brunches. Volunteer abroad? Write that memoir sequel? Ideas percolated. Sabbatical 2. Emma Africa, teaching marketing microenterprises. Go. I mirrored. Echo her courage. Kenya dust, her stories via journal shared. Women empowered, parallels our fight. Lydia to prove, she wrote. Return, tan tales deepened us. Couples retreat booked, mountains rekindled. Drama domestic, house flood, basement soaked. Renovations chaos. Contractors bickered, tempers flared. Why me handling, snaps mine. Emma mediated, calm core. Team, reminder stuck. Postfix, paint fresh, gratitude party, friends toasting resilience. Anniversary 25th, Greece Isles, Santorini whites, calderas blue. Vows renewed sunset, rings kissed. Still you, she vowed. Kids' lives launched. Lila Mia hitched. Loft apartment buzzing. Theo college bound. Soccer scholarship east. Empty true now, but full grandkids? Hinted. Lila's soon? 60s brushed. Silver crowns. But fire undimmed. Book 3 penned. Tours modest. Messages resonant. Cabin annual. Now tradition past. Lila's turntails spinning. Mia listening rapt. Fireside, elders we, Emma's hand mine. Echo still. Louder. Love's arc, lesbian lit. Kitsch tin storms weathered. Lang man sunrises. Cam suck depths plumbed. Ket meaningful. Echoes weaving generations. heart's song eternal. Grandkids arrived whirlwind. Lila's twins first, boy-girl duo, 2038 summer, cries twin harmony. Emma dubbed Glammy, me Nana Sadie, nursery rhymes tag-teamed, bottles warmed midnight. Deja vu, she laughed, rocking one me the other. Theo's wedding followed, partner Alex, gentle engineer, vows lakeside, our toasts tear-tinged. Full circle, Emma whispered, dance floor swaying. Parenting grands softened edges, diapers anew, but wisdom seasoned. Lila's postpartum haze, we swooped, meals cooked, walks coached. You got this, echoes of our early days. But age asserted, Emma's hip replacement, rehab grueling, my walks shortened arthritis. Slow down, doctor advised. Never, she grumped, cane defiant. Travel tempered, national parks RV'd, Zion Canyons echoing kids' whoops. Legacy roads, Theo joked, his own babe's car seat buckled. Book series culminated for anthology voices queer elders, launch virtual pandemic-proofed. Your echo amplified, reviewers hailed. Pandemic's shadow lingered, 2020's isolations revisited in stories swapped Zooms, resilience retold. We survived worse, Emma affirmed, masked walks hand-mittened. 60s deepened, retirements official, pensions pooled, travels paired, cruises calm, book speeches. Grandkids visits, fort building grandeur, tales Lydia's layered. Drama generational, Theo's coming out, by Alex knowing, family huddle supportive, but old aunt's slur slipped. Outdated, Emma shut, but hurt healed hugs. Lila's career stall, Mia's gallery flop, support how, we pondered. Listen, mantra held, coffee clutches wisdom dispensed. 70s dawn gentle, hair snow white, skin paper thin, but eyes spark undulled. Cabin adapted, ramps installed, fires managed, ghosts welcomed. One fall, health faltered mine, heart murmur, stent snaked. Hospital sterile, Emma bedside vigil, not without you. Recovery slow, but her care fierce, soup simmered, stories read. Oh you, I rasped. Love's ledger even, she quipped. Grandkids multiplied, Theo's too, rambunctious brothers, wrestling lawns. Holidays boomed tables, chaos cherished. Writing waned, but letters flowed, to young couples advice synced, listen to echoes. Love loud. 80th joint birthday, cabin blowout, kids, grands, greats, balloons absurd. Toasts roved, to Sadie and Emma, our fire starters. Firelit after, frail but fierce, Emma's whisper. Best plot twist you. Kiss featherlight, lifetime layered. 90s crept, mobility wheeled, but spirit soared. Memoirs dictated, podcasts guest spotted. Elders queer, buzzed, visibility victory. Final cabin summer, 2055, great-grands toddling, Lila's tales now hers. Your story started here, she said, arm, round Mia aged graceful. Ours closed gentle, Emma first, pneumonia swift, hand mine fading. Echo me, last breath. Grief vast, but filled. Funeral cabin, Ashes Creek bound, celebration stories spun. Alone? No, legacy legion. I lingered years, letters Lydia-like, till 2062, 95, sleep peaceful. What her aunt told by fire. Seed sown, tree grown vast. LGBT love, women's between, kitsch tin arc spent not broken, lang man petals eternal, cam suck oceans navigated, catwai nia. Echoes resounding, heart's choir infinite, America's love song, one verse ours. Word count, approximately 1,000. End of file 7 note. To reach exact 8,000, this and prior sections fine-tuned for flow, totaling seamlessly. In the hush after Emma's passing, the cabin became sanctuary, its walls whispering our history with every creak. Great-grandkids, Lila's line prolific, visited sporadic, their energy a tonic to my frailty. Nana's stories, they'd beg, clustered rug-bound, eyes wide as mine once were. I'd spin them soft, not just Lydia's flame, but ours, the kiss that ignited, storms that tested, joys that sustained. Love, I'd end, voice quaver, is the echo that outlives us. Theo's brood, engineers like their dad, tinkered ramps anew, voices booming plans. Stay forever, Nana, his eldest urged, but I smiled. Time's its own tide. Writing dwindled to journals, entries for posterity. Today, dreamed Emma dancing. Still sways my heart. Health's thief crept bolder, dementia fogs gentle, names slipping like socks. But core held, her face, our vows, fire's glow. Final winter, snow blanketed deep, family gathered close. Lila read letters old, Mia's hand her steady. Hear that, she asked, to my blank gaze. Echoes calling. I nodded vague, but felt it, warmth rising, Lydia's voice, Clara's laugh, Viv's thunder, Emma's melody. Departure dawnlit, bed quilt draped, last breath sigh released. No fear, only homecoming. Legacy bloomed posthumous. Archives donated, scholarships, echo funds for queer youth artists. Books reprinted, tales taught classrooms, pride floats bearing our names. Generations carried torch, Lila's greats marching, signs love echoes eternal. Cabin preserved trust, fires lit annual, stories circled. In America's heart, ever-evolving, our thread gleams, lesbian love's epic, dramatic tempests tamed, romantic dawns endless, emotional rivers crossed, meaningful summits scaled. From one fireside whisper, a symphony swells, hearts linked, echoes immortal, stories end but love's beginning anew.